missile's ready and prepared for program.
Our power will be demonstrated now.
We'll send them all against Earth to destroy it. We shall conquer the entire universe.
Welcome everyone to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl, presented by Star eSports. We got ourselves a double elimination tournament dedicated to the Overwatch Tier 3 community. We're also powered by OmniCoach. Their website is OmniCoachGG, and you can use the promo code Star eSports for 10% off your first video package order. Today, we got Phase 2 versus Honey Badgers in match number 2 of the first bracket here. My name is Sci-Fight, and I'm here with my co-caster, Sir Waltham.
Great to be here, Chase. Always ready to see some good Overwatch play. As you mentioned before, the two teams we have going up today are going to be Phase 1 versus the Honey Badgers. And, Phase 1 going to be a returning team. I'm excited to see them both perform here. However, before we go ahead and get started right into the game, we are going to be joined by Mirio, a name who is not unfamiliar to the caster's booth. Mirio, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Sir Waltham. How are you?
I'm doing pretty fantastically. Now, Mirio, for those who didn't catch our prior interviews, why don't you just go ahead and tell us about your position and a little bit about yourself within your organization?
Hi, I'm Mirio. I'm the coach for Phase 1. I'm the one that works on the compositions, and I work with players to make sure that they maximize their output. Also, to clarify, I work with Salt Shaker to come up with the compositions. Salt Shaker is the big mastermind behind a lot of these compositions.
Fantastic. Very interesting to hear that one of the players, if I remember correctly, which my memory can be shaky, admittedly, Salt Shaker is the main Orisa player for Phase 1. So very interesting to see that kind of coordination coming out from the team directly. Now, Mirio, I know last time we talked, you guys, kind of felt pretty easy about going into the finals last month. Do you guys have any standard kind of warm-up processes you go through just to make sure you guys are in tip-top shape? And what are those like?
Yeah, Romanov grinds a lot of Wizard 101 to get, in shape, and he plays along with Salt Shaker. Razor DMs Dollar Shave Club on Twitter to get warmed up. And he actually recently got a response, so it's not a one-way conversation anymore. That's really exciting for the team. And Cal actually uses practice range like a normal person, unlike the rest of us.
Well, it sounds like a lot of the team is definitely kind of on that hype mentality as opposed to just getting the mechanics warmed up. Can't say it's a bad strategy based off of how you guys have been playing today. Now, are you guys going to be going into this a little bit blind? Are you familiar with the Honey Badgers at all? And if not, how have you been kind of preparing going into this unknown?
We are not super familiar with the Honey Badgers, like compositions or playstyle at all, but we do have Friends of Friends on there. We're excited to play them. Hopefully we come out on top like we did last tourney. Hopefully we come out on top.
Fantastic. Now, I got just a few more questions before we wrap up and go ahead and get right into the action, Mirio. Last tourney, we did do kind of a hero ban save kind of system. How has your team taken it easier from that hero ban system? And kind of what has been your thought processes behind that? Where some of the things where you feel a little bit more relaxed or a little bit more tense about not having those hero bans and saves in effect?
Well, we weren't particularly worried last season because it was actually impossible for the enemy team to ban Orisa. And if they did try to ban Romanov's hero pool, Romanov would just switch because despite popular belief, he is not a Reaper one-trick. He's an insane Ashe player, Widowmaker player, and his Zarya is pretty good too if you ever get to see it. So depending on what teams tried to ban, we still had, because we anticipated that people banning certain heroes, so we weren't surprised when they banned Romanov's Reaper, but did you say there were no hero bans or saves this tourney?
That is correct.
Well, that makes our life a little bit easier, and it also doesn't change very much because we are going to continue doing what we're going to do.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing what you guys are going to do as we move forward into this game. We're going to go ahead and get cracking right into that. But Mirio, as always, thank you for coming out, hanging out, and just answering a few questions for us, my friend.
Thank you for having me. Good luck out there.
Best of luck to your team as well.
Bye-bye.
Now, Chase, we are going to be hopping right into Lijiang Tower. What do you think about this? We haven't seen, well, you and I have not cast together in what feels like a little bit. So what kind of vibes do you have coming out of Lijiang Tower right out of the gate?
I think the myriad of compositions is really going to move things around a little bit. You know, a lot of people are practicing different things, so we might end up with a really interesting meta, to be honest. So looks like we're going to be starting in Control Center.
Yeah, Control Center, one of those fun maps to really start off with and get going with. You got to anticipate that we're going to be seeing something similar to the triple with the Mei substitute, so I guess more of a 3-2-1 style comp. What are your thoughts on this, Chase?
What do you mean?
As far as compositions go, do you think we can expect to see anything kind of shaking up from that Mei style Goats comp?
Yeah. As I was saying before, teams are practicing other DPSs, so we're going to start to see, you know, maybe some Reaper action coming from Romanov that he is so famous for. Definitely going to see something special. I think Honey Badgers might go out with the 3-2-1 composition, but no, yeah, there's been a lot of swap ups. I don't think 3-3 is the meta right now.
Yeah, well, as a caster, that's something I'm definitely excited to hear. And, you know, I'm excited for it, but I'm a little reluctant for what the Honey Badgers currently have on the roster right now. The Torb and the Bastion seems a little optimistic to hope for, but it'd certainly be interesting. I certainly would love to see that kind of shake up.
Yep. Just before we start, guys, everyone trying to get out onto the Control Center, make sure to vote for your MVPs. Near the end of the match, you got a favorite player, make sure to vote for them. You can also donate bits and increase your votes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be hopping right into it. It looks like G-Man will be going out onto that Bastion, setting up right behind the Reinhardt shield. A big halt coming through from Salt Shaker, not going to be landing any kills off the back of it, though, and a lot of expendables going down. We're going to be seeing the Immortality field get taken out pretty early into the fight as well. Razor getting halted, additionally not quite able to be focused down by Polar. Right now, a lot of teams both teams just trying to vie for positioning. Romanov creeping around as that Reaper wasn't able to find too much purchase right out of the gate, but he's going to get right up in those tanks' faces once again, this time with the aid of the Immortality field. Nox taking down Propensi. That is going to be a good opening, and with that, we're going to be seeing some ult charge finally go in favor of phase one, but the fight's certainly not over. Salt Shaker taking down G-Man, though, is a great help for the now defending team. Salt Shaker falling. This could go either way at this point. We're seeing Romanov just get up in their faces, and right now we're seeing the separation come through from Spinbot. Spinbot trying to charge just to get away. Polar trying to deal with all of the expendables on the opposing team, and right now it's looking like finally the cleanup will come through from phase one, and they're going to have secure of the point alongside them having it capped.
Yeah, this is a really long and extended fight, but Romanov has been doing a really good job taking advantage of the enemy team's composition there. They realized that because there wasn't any CC, that Romanov could really get in melee range and just blow the Reinhardt and the Arisa's head off, and it's certainly working. It's going to take a little damage due to this dynamite here, and Vulcan is going to stall the point a little more. Looks like, yeah, ooh, really, oh, almost big barrage.
Yeah, a very optimistic barrage coming through from Polar. Will pick up Salt Shaker, however, that can still be pretty valuable, as we've heard Salt Shaker kind of a leader head for this team. And Mei ult coming out very early this time from the side of Vulcan. However, the kill is still going to be raining through from the Honey Badgers. They're looking very confident now as we go into the second fight, and they're going to be taking point control.
Yeah, that was a really nice fight. The Pharah isn't exactly the most optimal hero on this point because there's not too large of a skybox, but he's very good against the Torbjorn and the Reaper, and that's exactly what they're going for. It's also really good against the Baptiste because the Baptiste normally doesn't have a lot of peel, and Pharah's maneuverability allows you to get around that Orisa shield from Salt Shaker. Boggle coming out with both the Torbjorn and the Baptiste ultimate there.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of damage going to be coming, but has the potential to come through because of that amplification matrix. Not much going to be netted directly off the back of it. But what will land a lot of value is Romanov's Death Blossom going to be taking down two. And with that, we're seeing another swap onto phase one's control.
Yep. Really solid Death Blossom, but a lot of resources being used on both sides. G-Man and Nocturnal have the Ashe and Mercy ults respectively, so they do have some sort of resources coming to this next point, but this might come down to the last fight here. They need to make this work.
Yeah, they certainly do, and it's going to be the Winston from Saltshaker coming in, taking a little bit of an early dive, followed in by Vulcan on that Diva. However, going to be focused down by the Mei, batted around by the Wrecking Ball. Going to be DMEC, but Vulcan taking down G-Man before they get knocked out. With that being said, it will now be a little less tanking capabilities on the field. Cal going to take down Polar with that hit scan from the Baptiste. So powerful. The mines now coming out from Spinbot, following their claim to fame and going a little bit of spin to win on the field. Immortality Field coming out. Going to be keeping up a few members as Bob rushes onto the field as well to help, courtesy of G-Man. And it's looking so close for the side of Honey Badgers, but it just does not look like the numbers are quite going to go in their favor. But as I say, that Spinbot going to take down Romanov with those mines. Got to get some great value. And wow, it's just going to be the side of Honey Badgers getting pushed off of point.
Yeah, that was interesting from Romanov, but they're actually going to take it. A brilliant Diva eat from Phase 1's Diva. They managed to take down the Blizzard coming from Honey Badgers, and that really swung the fight that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pause onto Honey Badger's end, and yeah, Vulcan just doing a ton of work there, clutched that fight out completely.
Yeah, it really was the case. I mean, you don't have to worry about that Mei freezing you, locking you in place, making you basically a giant target. You're going to be appreciating that. You're going to be feeling that pretty comfortably.
Yeah, that was a lot closer than I was expecting. Phase 1 are coming into this match having played the Not For Normies qualification tournament. They just played it before this match, and interesting thing, they don't come into this tournament with a lot of research because they were busy scrimming and warming up for that tournament right beforehand. So they're not coming into it with a lot of information. That's why Mirio was asking the heroes were not being hero bans were not a thing anymore. You can tell that the Phase 1's they're focused on a lot of other things as well, not just this tournament. And it's interesting to see because Phase 1 they're a team that are really on the rise here in the T3 scene. They're making a lot of waves. We actually have talked about we've actually spectated them. They won the last Watchers Brawl tournament, and they're coming to this one with the number 1 seed really.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't necessarily blame them. They're coming off of some pretty big wins from the last tournament. You could forgive them, I would imagine, for not having done their prior research, especially if, they're intending on just running what they were running. If it's not going to be so hero intensive, or it's not going to be so ban elastic, I'd say, not so impacted by the bans. They got to be feeling pretty comfortable about that. And, I would say it makes sense to kind of, spread your attention in multiple different directions, especially if what you're going on now is working so well.
Yeah. Looks like we got the restart from Propensi. We'll be coming back to the game. Next stop will be Gardens. This is kind of interesting. I think this is going to cater to a little bit more of the Honey Badger's favor because they have Polar on the Pharah. It seems very comfortable on the Pharah. And it was it was good, but not like amazing, crazy good. You could tell definitely the Pharah was working against the Torbjorn, and that's why you're seeing these swaps from Phase 1, right? That's why you aren't seeing the Risa. They know that they are going to be expecting the Pharah, so they're going to be swapping out. It's just going to be Razor on the Torb as usual.
Yeah, Razor on the Torb to come out. It seems definitely like seeing this player on the Swedish builder. Kind of adds a new character that, we're starting to see a little bit more come into the tournament, but is still not completely meta quite yet, I'd say. However, we're going to be getting right into it as the team is going to be stepping out of spawn.
Yeah. I was wrong. It's going to be Saltshaker staying to the Orisa. Polar's going to get a huge pick off to Vulcan to start fighting. I think this is just this is the power play. This is his point to really make some waves here on this Pharah.
Yeah, and Spinbot getting a lot of early damage with that Hammond going in from behind, just knocking around a lot of the side of Phase 1. Phase 1 going to be going with that mini grab, not quite finding too many people off the back of it. However, Paddock going to be taken down early as well. Things still looking good as the res comes in from Nocturnal. And right now, just so many angles for the side of FaZe to have to kind of contest. But their kills are going to go in their favor. Vulcan doing a lot of cleanup work here. Going to get DMEC, but not going to be too bothered for it as Phase 1's going to get first.
Wow. I was not expecting that at all. Another pause comes out. Thinking emoji. A couple of things from before that fight that I didn't get to touch on. Vulcan on the had swapped to the Diva, and what was cool was Spinbot had actually canceled out Nox's res. So I was actually thinking that would go the opposite way, and Honey Badgers would completely just stomp because you're still running the Arisa, which is pretty bad against the Pharah if you can get it off angle. But it's one of those things. If you cancel out like a Mercy Red, you're kind of taking like another person out of the team fight. And Nocturnal did end up getting that res. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of interactions that are going on right now. A lot more than you might be experienced to if you're familiar with just the triple. You know, we're having to see a lot more DPS play, a lot more DPS interactions, but we're going to be hopping right back into it with, as I said, Phase 1 taking and holding point first.
Yep. Vulcan going to be going down, but Phase 1 are going to recap that point. Good stuff from them. They're looking really strong, and their composition is very forefront. You know, they have the Ashe, they have the Torb spam damage with the turret, and they have the Arisa. There's going to be a lot of spam, and yeah, Polar is not going to be able to take that. They're not. You're playing this as safe as you can, but so much incoming damage.
Yeah, and Bob going to actually be sent into the side of the Honey Badgers just to perhaps buy
They're
a little bit
shielding
of
Bob.
time. Yeah, a lot of protection coming through from Bob. They really want to get as much value out of him as possible. The fight's starting to get a little bit scattered here. They need to be very careful on both sides. However, May going to be throwing out the Blizzard not before Romanov takes the Dynamite to the face, and it will continue to be held by Phase 1 here.
Yep. And are we swapping from the May? Nope. The May Blizzard just gets kind of nullified because they die, sadly.
Yeah,
a lot of resources still on Phase 1's plate. They have a lot of ults to work with. They have the Torbjorn and the Diva Bomb coming through for the next fight as well. And off the side of Honey Badgers, they really don't have a lot to work with. And the Dragon Strike could be useful for getting some people off the point. The Mines, there we go.
Yeah, the Mine's going to be coming out, but so will the Bongo. Salt Shaker taking down Propensi very early into the fight. Kills going back and forth. Bongo going to be taken care of, and the Ice Wall going to be coming out just to buy the side of Honey Badgers a little bit of space. But oh no, it's Razor going for the aggressive hammer kill. Going to get punished because of it. Cal taking down Propensi. And a big bomb from Vulcan going to take down both the snipers on the side of the Honey Badgers. Does not look good for them. They need to have some miracle happen if they want to reclaim point.
That was all Salt Shaker with that halt to get those bomb kills. Torbjorn, Molten Core going to go through from Razor and take some people off the point, and this will be Phase 1 taking map 1.
Yeah, it certainly like that's going to be the case. It's just a little bit of stall here. We can see Polar and Nocturnal kind of trying to play around the entryway, but not going to be finding too much purchase as G-Man hopping onto the point for a brief moment before them and the rest of their team starts to fall. We're going to be seeing the spin to win claim to fame from Spin.
Razor trying to get a hammer kill.
Will get locked down, attempted to be dismantled by the Torb. It's all going to go Phase 1's favor, however.
No hammer kill for you, Razor. Not this map. I'm going to have to wait for those. I have to wait another map. And play the game coming from Salt Shaker. Was this the halt into the bomb? No, this was the start of the fight. You're just doing so much spam damage. And this was what I was talking about. You know, Phase 1, they have so much front-loaded damage just with their left clicks. Spam you out as soon as they overtake the point. It is so hard to cap. And to be honest, the triple and quad DPS compositions that were coming out from Honey Badgers, they just weren't getting the value that we normally see coming from a triple and quad DPS composition.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we've seen that composition perform a lot against the triple, but now that we're starting to diverge into those different types of composition styles, it's a little less common that we see it go against something, you know, that's not that standard triple. I think we're seeing, you know, Phase 1, they're not reliant on something that even was super meta, and so now they kind of have that learner's advantage where, you know, this is not something you're going to practice against on a regular basis. So how do you prepare for it with a team that's this good? It's just a real tough situation for the Honey Badgers.
Mm-hmm. And so now we're going to be getting into our map ban and pick phases, there aren't going to be any hero bans and hero saves like the past tournaments. We've kind of done away with that. Eichenwald will be banned, the hybrid map coming out from there. Fortunately, we still have Hollywood and Nimbani in the map pool left. Lijiang was just played, so obviously Ilios and Oasis can't be picked, but we have all of the assault maps to choose from, those hybrids, and also Junkertown and Dorado, the escort maps as well for Honey Badgers to choose. And I honestly think I would go with something like an escort map. You want to maybe go with something like Junkertown with really really large gaping maps, so you can get line of sight. You can start sniping people off and using the FARA to maximum value.
Yeah, it's one of those tough situations, right? Where you talk about, oh, an escort map does sound good, but a lot of escort maps play to the strengths of an Orisa. She'll just put her shield onto the cart and it'll move for her. And, you know, Phase 1 has an extremely proficient Orisa, at least from the looks that we've been seeing, you know, for the last month. Salt Shaker definitely able to hold their own. So, yes, in some aspects, it makes sense to go with an escort map, but in others, it's a tough call. It's not illogical. It's just, you got to weigh your options heavily.
I agree. And we're talking about this tournament for anyone who's new. This is a best 2-3 map. Looks like Hollywood will be played. It is another of the hybrid maps to choose from. Large sweeping maps. Doesn't have as high of a skybox so far, like isn't too common, but I actually think we might be seeing Polar on it regardless, just because it's so good against the Baptiste and the Orisa. We got some swap ups, so Magnifique gonna be playing in instead of Propensi.
Yeah, going to be swapping out just a little bit, and it's looking like we're going to be seeing the side of, excuse me, Phase 1 go onto the defense here as we wait for everybody to get readied up and good to go. Definitely excited to see what these teams come out with. I'm sure Phase 1 will not disappoint on this Hollywood. It's one of it seems to be one of their definitely preferred maps.
Yeah. I think Phase 1 going for the defense, they kind of want to get this they want to get this second map out of the way. They're kind of saying, you know, like, can we defend so we can just full hull you and win the point, you know, easily. That seems to be the case. I want to say that Honey Badgers are the gigantic underdogs coming into this match. Not to be biased or anything, it's just that Phase 1's results have kind of spoken for themselves, and they've done really well. Yeah, they have another tourney to go to as well, which I believe is the Not for Normie Invitational, and they wanna just get these maps out of the way and sweep real quick.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be looking to get this done expeditiously, yes, but we do still have to wait about that 30 seconds before we can get into any of the action, before we can get into the setup phase. And while we have a moment, you know, we got to remind you in between every game about that Twitch MVP vote. So if you're on Twitch, if you're on DLive, hop over to Twitch and let us know who you think the MVP of the match is. We love hearing your opinions, and we love hearing you guys interact with us. So definitely drop us a line if you think you know what's going on. But right now, we're about to see these heroes come into action.
Yep, and we're going to be seeing standard composition come out from the defense on Phase 1. It's going to be Vulcan on the Junkrat, however. Interesting to see that. And Romanov going to be sniping away on that Ashe, which I think is going to provide huge value. This bucket composition is very, very good on this map, especially on certain these points, these diner areas and the high ground. They're going to serve really big for Phase 1, and I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a full hold, but I really want to see some cool comps coming out from Honey Badgers. I want to see them keep this series alive, and I want them to take it to a map 5 and make things interesting.
I want to see a second point Romanov, because I love seeing Romanov on that Widow, but we're just going to be seeing them on the Ashe to start, using the Dynamite to do a little bit of damage, followed up with by the turret from Razor. That being said, now we're going to be seeing Nocturnal on that Somber, perhaps trying to get just a little bit of forward scouting, going to be actually taking the Translocator out, and now it's Polar with Magnifique going to be taking to the skies, trying to knock down Jostle, the top position. Spinbot getting taken down early by Vulcan. That is pretty crucial, though. There's not going to be a Wrecking Ball to buy all the space. And Vulcan taking down Polar.
How does that happen?
You usually don't see the Pharah get taken down by the Junkrat, but it sure enough will happen. However,
Whoa.
Solchik.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Nox being taken down very low, though. Need to stay out of line of sight and just heal up using their passive. They're really keeping Spinbot out of this point. And, bro, you got a flank on that Wrecking Ball. You're at like 10 HP, though. And you're going to get a health pack, but Romanov is going to pick your team apart. Here comes the Bob, and man, this is looking good for phase 1.
Yeah, Romanov really getting that ult charge really quick as we speak. I mean, we just saw them use Bob and 3 kills coming out. A Vulcan as well, very close to that Riptire.
Yep. Ooh, check for a Nocturnal who's trying to go for a flank. Trying to maybe recap the point, catch them out of position here. Magnifique going to get the res off. And yeah, Spinbot just not... There seems to be a little more work that could be done on this Wrecking Ball. They're really doing a good job of shutting down this Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, Saltshaker really using those halts to their advantage. The hack's trying to come through from the side of Nocturnal, not going to be quite finding anything. However, one thing we can see potentially some value from Vulcan on this Riptire. Where's it going to land? It's going to land onto Spinbot. The trades are now 1v1. Vulcan going down in exchange for Spinbot. And now we're seeing just kind of a little bit of a stall fight here. The Sombra taking the high ground onto the offices, but Paduk going to be taken down by Saltshaker and a trade actually between the two. And now the Baptiste ult going to be coming down the amplification matrix, mostly for themselves. Increased healing, increased damage, never hurts. Romanov peeled off by G-Man. And right now, G-Man and Polar both looking very low. Magnifique going to definitely have their attention divided in this situation. And it's not looking like it's really going to go anywhere. Phase 1 look like they're going to continue to hold.
They're going to be able to reset as well and just kind of keep this low down pressure going. We have the EMP coming up from Nocturnal. I think they're going to use. They use it, and it gets 3. There we go.
It's going to be taken down. Vulcan followed up by the barrage from Polar. Polar gets the early kill on Vulcan. However, the hack coming out from Nocturnal doesn't look like it's going to be landing onto much. Tries to hack the Bob, fails. The mine's coming out
the Bob.
in the middle of Cafe.
The Bob in the corner.
And with this, it looks like you might get your wish. Sai, we are going to be seeing Honey Badgers proceed to cap the first point. We're going to get some movement on the payload.
That was a very unlucky Bob coming from Obradov. He's going to shamefully swap to the Widowmaker. And unfortunate coming from them. But yeah, well, we'll talk about that further. It was a really good push coming from Honey Badgers. G-Man on that Tracer was playing that very well. Managed to get low a couple of times, but still survived. Was able to take out a couple people in the back line. Brilliant EMP from Nocturnal getting 3, and that'll suffice. But Saltshaker really so aggressive there. He's basically in their spawn.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing Spinbot as well get very aggressive onto these sniper perches as he gets back assembled with the cart. Going to be trying to just take a little bit of focus off of the Torbjorn turret, and it looks like phase 1 going to concede some space. Yeah,
Saltshaker got taken a little too far out of position. Going to have to reset, had to go into their spawn basically to die, and they're going to have to give up some space. Dragon coming out from Paduk.
Yeah, it will be baiting out the Immortality Field from Baptiste with the turret shooting right through it. That's going to increase the damage immensely. Can chase down Paduk. This team kills are not going in favor of the Honey Badgers right now. They're about halfway through Streets phase, and it looks like that's where we're going to be held this push.
This is not a spot that you want to be stuck defending here. You're going to have to use a lot of resources just to get out of this choke from Hollywood, and a lot of people falter through this choke. And Saltshaker is really taking up this positioning fairly well. Just keeping everything forward. Romanov going to be taken down, though. Really good pick coming from Polar.
Yeah, some potential coming out here, and a big EMP only going to be netting Saltshaker and Vulcan. However, the Immortality Field coming out as well. However, quickly taken down by Nocturnal. Not a lot of abilities, and especially no ults, with the exception of Vulcan going to be online for the side of phase 1. Kills are going back and forth. G-Man taking out one of the snipers, however, will be picked back up the side of Polar by Magnifique. So it's still looking like the cart is going to get some progress from the Honey Badgers. The Diva Bomb coming in from over the top, netting Magnifique. You don't like to see that if you're on the side of the Honey Badgers, but they're going to keep hanging around. We're going to be seeing Polar still maintain that air dominance. They have the Pharah barrage. We're going to see if they're going to use it this fight. It doesn't look like it, as the kills are still continuing to go in favor of phase 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, when you have the Wrecking Ball versus the Orisa, you just have so much more staying power on the Orisa. And the ball isn't able to get too much value. They're able to take out Polar with a brilliant halt coming from Salt Shaker and a couple of left clicks from Nox. That was really well played.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be having a lot of ults online, but they may not get to use. If he keeps getting picked off by Salt Shaker, or if anybody keeps getting picked off by this team, Spinbot, you can't let that happen.
Yeah. Salt Shaker on the high ground. You've never seen an Orisa this high. The halt coming through. Vulcan going to keep him company. And he's just going to do a little dance as the opposition resets and Honey Badgers try and find another strategy around this.
Yeah, it's looking like we're seeing Phase 1 get very confident here. We're seeing these long lines coming through from Romanov. A lot of ults online. G-Man getting brought dangerous and finished off by Salt Shaker. The Diva, or the the Orisa Bongo is going to be coming out, taken down along with Salt Shaker by Polar. However, the Diva Bomb for the remake coming in. Vulcan taking down Polar right beforehand. The Dragon's coming out. Somebody needs to get on the cart rather quickly. Spinbot slamming down onto a few supports as well as Romanov on that Widow. It's going to be the stall coming out now from Nox, just trying to remove those mines from point. G-Man taking down Romanov might be a big help in this fight, but only if they continue to get the kills off the back of it. Yeah, the Sim now coming out from Salt Shaker. Salt Shaker Sim. Known to switch this in these tight situations here. They're doing a great job of keeping the defense off the cart as much as possible. Nocturnal going to be taking
kill
Salt Shaker and continuing to take down the kills. This is great. Vulcan the last line of defense as the stalls continue to come out. Now we're seeing Romanov hop on the point, and it's going to have to be pretty much just the side of Honey Badgers get the cart. They're going to have about one more fight.
Yeah, I think they're going to have another fight to take that. I was thinking of Salt Shaker's sting on that Sim. I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. They're going to be able to recontest here on this left-hand side corner. Possibly, if they keep more people in the payload, maybe no. Oh, no.
It's going to
enough people in the payload.
Yeah, it's a little grimmer. The EMP this time coming out from the side of Razor. Could be coordinating quite well enough with that Diva Bomb. The card is getting so close to the second point.
Ooh, Phase 1.
DPS just coming through with the kills right now. It's just going to be Nocturnal on the point, popping that EMP. Not going to be enough as the overtime clock ticks down. Round 1's complete, folks.
0.23 meters. That is one of those times you're just in comms like, guys, if we had one more person on the payload, we would have capped. And that's got to be a facepalm coming from Honey Badgers. Unfortunate from them. Phase 1 really clutched that out at the last second.
Yeah, Phase 1 did a fantastic job at kind of reassembling themselves, getting themselves, a slap back into the face and getting right back onto the battlefield. They did exactly what they needed to. And
I don't know if the Symmetra was what they needed, but
well, they ended up holding it before the second point got ticked, and I think that's a pretty good spot for them to be in. They're going to feel pretty comfortable about that, I think.
I agree, and I'm trying to not to harp on Salt Shaker too much. I think these picks are very big brains coming from him. There must have been some other kind of reasoning why they picked Symmetra in that specific position, but I won't doubt his genius. I'm just gonna watch the magic, as the copy pasta says.
And now we're gonna be seeing on the side of the defense a very similar comp. However, we're going to be seeing Polar on this far out. Once again, no Junkrat, Nocturnal on the Sombra as well, perhaps ready to do a little bit of hacking and slashing, as it's sometimes
that's
referred to by me. Well, I mean,
that's
I just like thinking of hack and slash like the grind. They're gonna be grinding up.
Okay, that's a Path to Pro podcast.
All right, Simon.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you, Sir Waltham. It's been really fun casting this, and yeah, this attack should be very interesting. I think Nocturnal has the power play coming in here. Gonna be able to get a hack off, hopefully onto Salt Shaker. Start the. They're gonna get onto Cal. It gets low already. Very nice.
We're going to be using that self-healing through. That means that support self-healing will not be available, and they're continuing to hold this high ground in Cafe even as the Ash Dynamite coming through the Immortality Beacon now going into the media room. That's a pretty good position. They can't take too much damage on that Immortality field. And right now, Phase 1 having a pretty calm offense so far, not getting too aggressive with it.
Yep. They're taking the... that brilliant shot coming in from Razor. There on the Hanzo, really working out. That is going to be that fight win, to be honest, if they can speed this fight up.
Yeah, and we're seeing Salt Shaker as well as Cal go around from behind, using those grabs to pull everybody out of the top into the stairwell. and promptly get disposed of. And now we will be seeing phase one absolutely flood onto the point. Not much that can be done in the way of defending from the Honey Badgers.
Yep. Vulcan on this Pharah. Really flexible flex tank. Now, there are only a couple of like really good D.Va players that can flex onto a Pharah really well and do a lot. Bob coming out preemptively from Romanov just to try and get some more positioning on the point. Magnifique gonna res that up, and yeah, point's gonna keep moving.
Yeah, point will continue to move. Bob not going to be fighting too much. Romanov and Vulcan continuing to clean up the party a little bit here. G-Man trying to claim some kills in favor of the Honey Badgers. Not going to quite be going the way they want, though. And is that a Mercy Blaster right here? It is indeed coming from Nox. Not going to be claiming any kills, just getting back to their Ash to do a little bit of clean up healing. And with that being said, it is a very tough spot for Polar as they retreat to Magnifique to get some healing.
Yeah, really not getting a chance to do much. Ooh. Really big pick onto Romanov, but the payload is still moving. It's going to be really hard to remove this Orisa, especially with the Bongo coming up. There's the EMP, though.
EMP might change things around here. Rays are going to be throwing dragons onto the cart, perhaps just to clear it off a little bit. Ooh. However, the rest of phase one is going to be looking pretty squeaky clean off of the cart, though. Vulcan taking down G-Man. Nocturnal going to be reclaiming that. A little bit questionable of a rocket barrage, but
yeah, there's a bit of a meme. I think Vulcan's going to be swapping. Yeah, going to be swapping to the Sombra. They realize this composition, all this composition requires right now is just one more fight win. Unfortunately for them, yeah, G-Man getting the best of Romanov in the sniping duel.
It certainly seems to be the case. Polar as well, keeping on to this high ground, trying to maintain this dominance, making it really painful for anybody to come out of the building. Down Salt Shaker, and as we've seen, Pharah in ults get killed.
Press Q to die.
Going to continue to be the fashion here, and G-Man taking down Razor as he attempts to hop into the upper area. Nobody yet to get on the cart for phase one. We're going to be seeing Cal on the top floor, trying to do a little bit of damage to G-Man. Not going to quite pay off, though.
Yep. Nocturnal trying to get more EMP charge. Vulcan really not getting too much, but Romanov wins that sniper duel this time. Not going to be able to res that up, and to be honest, that just might be a fight win if they can just keep that high ground, and it will be.
Yeah, especially with that hack onto Spinbot, going to be quickly cleaned up, and now it is going to be a 4-6 in favor of phase one, make it a 3-6, and now it is just pretty much cart progress. It might be a little bit of a stagger stall here coming through from the side of Honey Badgers. You don't like to see that if you're on the defensive position, but they need to get out there and try to make some plays happen.
Point, guys. All right. Romanov going to get some snipes there on the left-hand side with Nox's damage boost. They're going to hack Spinbot, who wastes the ultimate. No!
And it's so expensive, but in the end, it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much that they waste the ultimate, because it will just be the cart getting to the end by phase one. Who's going to be taking this, now taking the lead 2-0.
Yep, phase one trying to speed run through and do what they can. Paduk, to play the game here. What happened here?
Looking at like a little bit of some Hanzo play, just a nice shot to the back of the pit by the Mercy. Some rapid fire arrow kills. You love to see it, folks. You love Honey Badgers at least getting a little bit of recognition, even if it's only in the POTG.
Flip the switch right there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Doing really well. really flexible lineup from Honey Badgers. They can. This is looking like a 3-0. I want to hope for more, but phase one looked really strong, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Honey Badgers came back in the losers bracket. This is a double elimination tournament for anyone who is wondering. So we will see Honey Badgers later on in the next coming weeks. While I talk about coming back, there is another match at 9 p.m. ADT. We got a couple more teams fighting off in the the fourth match of the tournament.
Yeah, definitely going to be excited to see them as we move forward. That will be, if memory serves, folks. I know that some of you might remember that my memory is not that great. It looks like TE Lullaby versus Winnable, and definitely something to get hyped about moving forward. But before we move on to what's for dinner, let's focus on what's for lunch here. We'll work with what we have on our plates currently. Phase one in Honey Badgers looking like immediately the ban onto Junkertown is going to come out from phase one. An interesting pick, a very interesting pick, I think.
I don't think it's too interesting. We were actually talking about how Junker might be one of their worst maps because the Risa doesn't get a ton of value in the open. Polar's able to use the Pharah. So I don't know. I think it's a perfectly fine map pick. It looks like Honey Badger's going to be picking Dorado.
Dorado is going to be the go-to. We are going to be seeing it on the escort map to be next. And you know, it makes sense. You think, at least if you're the Honey Badgers going into this, perhaps a little bit fresher without the knowledge we have of Phase 1. They just banned an escort map. You might be thinking, hey, maybe that's a map type they have a little bit of weakness in. Maybe we can exploit that a little bit. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to try to do.
I agree. I like the Dorado pick coming from Honey Badgers. They want to go for the payload maps like we were talking about. I definitely agree. I think this could be really good for them. I think, you know, picking 2CP would have been like the biggest troll, because you know that Phase 1 is trying to get out of here and get into the other tournaments that's being played, so that's kind of hysterical. And it looks like both teams are ready, so we will be getting into Dorado.
I'm going to be hopping into Dorado here momentarily, but while we have a moment, don't forget, folks, as I try to remember in between each round, to vote for those Twitch MVPs of the match. Definitely let us know who you think is popping off. Definitely want to hear from you guys and see what you guys are feeling. I mean, you know, sometimes I don't have it right every time. I know it's hard to believe out there, Twitch chat, but I'm definitely wrong a lot of the time. So let us know who you think is doing real well, and we'll be sure to announce it at the end of the match. But for the time being, Dorado, how are we feeling about it? Besides all the aerial combat, all the different kinds of strats we just talked, Chase, do you think there's anything else we kind of haven't considered about Dorado yet?
No, I think that Pharah is going to be really good here, and we will be seeing snipers come out from both sides to try and counteract the Pharah coming from Polar. I think that Honey Badgers have been pretty freaking good on the Pharah.
Yeah,
G-Man going to be on the Bastion for the defense. Super interesting.
G-Man actually going to be on the Bastion for the offense here as we get started. It will be once again the Honey Badgers on the offense here in red on the right in your screen there, folks. G-Man, curious to see if they're actually going to be rolling out with that Bastion. Putting him on the cart is an interesting decision if they decide to go with it. I'm not 100% confident that's going to be the case. I've casted long enough to know that debates do happen. But Romanov on the sniper, I like it. I like Romanov's sniper. I've witnessed it, you know, a handful of times already, and I generally think that sometimes it's a treat to watch. Hopefully, we'll get some good plays out of that player moving this time around.
Yep. We'll be seeing the Bastion on the offense. Will be super interesting. They're going to go Supreme Bunker, but Spinbot, nope. Spinbot, they're going to go Quad Tank, with the only support being the being the Baptiste, and Polar gets knocked out immediately.
Yeah,
not looking good.
Quite interesting that they're choosing to go quad DPS, but we're seeing the fight break out. They're immediately Salt Shaker going to be dropping down right onto the nose of the payload.
Yeah, he's Chad, Alpha Chad right there, just taking some space up in front. I'm going to be right up in line of sight of your spawn. Woohoo! Moon jumping up top. He's got the moves.
Some early dominance and definitely showing moves. Definitely going to be favoring this high ground, it seems. Not looking too quickly to drop down. They're going to be taking advantage of the upper territory here. Romanov getting focused down by Spinbot. That might be a pretty decent kill coming through here for the offense, but Nox going to be bringing them back up. Not quite able to camp that body as much as they would like. Salt Shaker taken down from this high ground. Finally, the mine's now coming out from Spinbot with the pull from the Orisa onto Cal. That is brilliant. Whoa. And now it's looking like the side of Honey Badger is going to ride the cart pretty easily here.
Yep. I mean, they're going to take down Spinbot. He's going to go down to the pistol of Nox. But Nox dies! But they C9 anyways.
Yeah, that is a tough spot, but I like the way it was played by the Honey Badger. Definitely liking this maneuver right now.
Oh my god. Guys, respond in the chat with your favorite emoji from what you've just seen, alright? It's going to be Romanov swapping to the Reaper. Razor's got that dragon. Here's the dragon EMP combo. Brilliant halt!
Ooh. Yeah, it comes out right as the EMP does as well. It's going to be very brutal as well, comboed with the halt from Salt Shaker. That's very great.
Man, Razor and Salt Shaker doing so much work. You can tell the coordination is really there from phase 2. Unfortunately for them, they're going to have to maneuver themselves around. As we were talking about before on map 1, there's just so much incoming damage, and Spinbot gonna go down to Nox yet again.
Yeah, and now with the Bongo coming out from Marissa, we're going to be seeing Romanov get right up in the face of a few of the tanks, the Reaper teleport coming through, and now we're seeing G-Man with the Bastion tank taking a few shots at the Flying Mercy, not really finding anything. Romanov going to be trading the old tank for Death Blossom here, and Nox finally getting the coveted Mercy pistol kill. You gotta love to see it. It's all hex breaking loose right now, folks. It is getting brutal on the battlefield. Romanov going to be brought back up. Does not look like the defense is quite ready to give up here. Razor's going to be taking down Polar, and this might be the opening for the defense that they needed. It's just going to be Puduk, but Puduk's going to get taken down, and now we're seeing some stabilization come out from phase 1.
Yeah, the crossfire from phase 1 is just too good, and Nox is getting some frags off. Gets the frag off, the key frag off from onto G-Man there. And God, it feels like Spinbot's just constantly being hacked out here. Bomb coming in.
Yeah, bomb coming in after the EMP. It will be saved by the Immortality Field. However, nobody quite dropping from the side of Honey Badgers yet. Spinbot dangerously low, needs to be very careful. The mine's going to be doing quite a bit of work paired with Puduk's nice whole hog. It's going to just be Romanov at a sliver of health trying to stall out points. Going to be forming right onto a mine. Better that than defeat the Volt Charge, I guess.
Yeah. Unlucky coming from Romanov. They're still gonna have a couple of fights to try and defend this point. A lot of ultimates being used, however, on both sides. It's just gonna be Razor with the dragon. We've seen how potent that dragon could be with Salt Shaker's halt, so keep in mind for that. Just watch that come out. I'm sure that'll be happening in a couple seconds. Here we go.
It's happening right now as we talk about it. But the Immortality Field going to be coming out just out of the line of sight. Going to have to be maneuvering those angles very carefully to the side of phase 1. But Razor taking down G-Man is a good opening. Razor continuing to clean up here as Magnifique gets dropped. Polar getting dropped very low as well. Nocturnal claiming Razor finally, but it may be a little too late as the Hammond going to be coming in with the pile driver, just trying to get away. Spinbot going to be one of the only people walking away from this in any sort of healthy fashion.
Yep, they're going to be able to stagger out the Diva from Nocturnal, and they're going to have to restart that push. The Bastion just hasn't been so fruitful because everyone has been playing line of sight, and we have this triple DPS composition. But the cool thing about these DPS heroes off the side of phase 1 is that they're able to play off on their own. They're really not DPSs that require a lot of attention. Spinbot using the mines; those are really potent lately. They take down the Immortality.
He's going to be getting some mines onto the cart, meaning that at least some of them will be a little bit more mobile. And the pull actually coming in from Puduk right into the mines. The CC onto these mines has been fantastic. Polar going to be taken down, however. And the Diva Bomb coming through from Nocturnal, taking down Romanov. A lot of ults being invested here from the side of Honey Badgers, but it's going to pay off, it seems, as they're getting a full kill sweep here.
Yeah, really good coming from Honey Badgers. G-Man on this Bastion just looks like an afterthought, to be honest. The tanks have been doing a ton of work, and this is like the tank show coming from Honey Badgers. They're doing really well. Not trying to say anything about G-Man's Bastion. Bastion's suitable. It's just that, you know, the mines coming through from Spinbot have been so potent. Tire coming out from Vulcan will be taken down. Oh no, but G-Man...
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of kills come through, a lot of spam-heavy characters. Salt Shaker going to be here. And as we're going to be getting right back into it, it looks like the cleanup will be from phase 1 with the late stagger onto Nocturnal. That's going to be a little bit painful.
Yeah, and G-Man just keeps going down to this start of the fight. They're really focusing him. I think phase 1 are just doing something really right here with the spam. Really hard to, you know, take down every single one of the enemy team's DPSs. Then you have Romanov on the side just taking down your tanks too.
Yeah, absolutely. The Immort Field coming out now from the side of phase 1 from both sides now, and the Orisa Battle Boggle coming out. The Wraith form coming out from Romanov, trying to avoid that damage from Puduk, not going to be successful. Spinbot now claiming some kills. I think Spinbot was listening to a little bit earlier, Chase, about not being that effective on the Hammond. Definitely trying to claim some ground here, and now we're seeing the Bastion set up onto the point. It's looking lethal if that Bastion does kind of lock it down, but it looks like they're going to take the high ground.
They don't have any resources, and Romanov coming up top trying to do sneaky death loss, but he's going to be forced to phase out of there, stall for time. They have a lot of resources coming from phase 1. I don't believe this will be the last fight unless G-Man is able to get a ton of damage on it.
Yeah, absolutely. The grab going to be coming out onto Vulcan, who barely gets out of there with their life intact. That is quite expensive, and it looks like a little bit of a back off from the side of Honey Badgers while Spinbot tries to set something up.
It's a really bad position for them to be in. Vulcan is going to get a ton of damage off with the mines because you're in this small room. A lot of shield damage, a lot of stuff being pulled. Dragon Strike comes through. Oh, no.
Yeah, Razor going to be claiming 2 off the back of that ult, 3 in total. Spinbot taking them down, but it's just a touch too late. And it's looking like now Honey Badger's really going to have to rush to get to point.
Yeah, they don't have a ton of resources either. And off the side of phase 1, they have 5 inwards ultimates. They use the Reinhardt charge to get through, but I don't think Polar's going to be able to touch. They get a touch onto Spinbot.
But the tire going to be coming out from Vulcan. Going to be taken down by G-Man's tank form. Nobody on the cart, just can't make it in time. That's going to be the cart stopping for the Honey Badgers.
Yep. I'm surprised they took it that far, to be honest, but really kudos to them. Going to try and end this series quickly for phase 1. And yeah, really good offense coming out from Honey Badgers. They're doing a lot of things right, and I think that Spinbot he's definitely warmed up from that wrecking ball that we saw earlier that wasn't getting a lot of value. Those mines were getting so much value, and the follow-up kills afterwards, even when the mines don't go through, were so freaking valuable. And sometimes there's just no way to stop the wrecking ball.
Yeah,
right angles.
Absolutely, and it looked like a lot of it was being set up by their kind of tank counterparts as well. We saw an Orisa pull into the mines. We saw the Hog pull into the mines. So overall, it's just some good tank synergy. But they had to run 4 tanks to do it. We'll see if they choose to go that way for the defense this time around.
Yeah, it was just one of those things that the mines, they're right here, and phase 1 are like, okay, the mines are right there, and now Honey Badgers are like, okay, now you're here. You're in the You are now in the mines, and you're the phase 1 are like, oh shit, I'm dead now. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough spot, but I'm sure phase 1's still feeling pretty confident. They don't seem to be too bothered by it. Gonna be rolling out with Romanov on the Reaper, it appears, and a little surprised that we're not going to be seeing the Widow come out, considering how much this player also likes the Widow.
I think they're coming out with like a little bit of a weird comp just to try and scan out. And they'll see what's going on.
Certainly might be the case here. We're going to be seeing Spinbot set up on the high ground. Nocturnal taking down Vulcan very early. That's a very good pick. The Immortality field onto the cart from Cal means that it's not going to be available for the later fight. Right now, it's just a little bit of Orisa's shield battery kind of trading back and forth as we see Nocturnal kind of fishing around in the back lines, trying to look for any target that might be susceptible.
Razor in the back line. Razor trying to take some people down from behind. He's going to line up his shots. Oh, he gets the headshot onto G-Man from the back. Going to try and take down the Ana. Doesn't get too much damage. He just falls down. Yeah, that was a crazy sneaky play coming from Razor.
Yeah, quite effective in terms of just braining G-Man. Now we're seeing Salt Shaker take cover inside the building. That is a very good spot for the rest of the B. And right now we're just seeing Honey Badgers continually back off. They're just kind of letting phase 1 buy the space. At least they were until Romanov takes the kill. Spinbot taking down Salt Shaker. Now we might be seeing a little bit of a swing in favor of the Honey Badgers. But Razor taking down G-Man, pretty valuable.
Yeah. Salt Shaker going down is huge though. But phase 1 have got it going on. They're getting some frags in, trading a lot off.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing Nocturnal hop in, gonna be dropping the EMP, landing on Romanov, all disabled. Romanov without the ability to use that Bob, at least for a brief moment. However, not gonna stop the kills from going through. Polar taken down by Vulcan. That Diva can be really great at reducing the threat of a Pharah. And as we're seeing now, it is just going to be the Mercy and the Wrecking Ball onto the point. And no more as Romanov heals Magnifique's skull back just a little bit. Spinbot taking down Cal, but it does not appear to be enough as the Wrecking Ball falls.
Gonna try and stall this out as G-Man pops the the in first sight. G-Man, what are you doing? Trying to go for some entry frags onto the next point. Oh, we're gonna go down. He's staggered out. That's some bad spawns there, and unfortunately for Honey Badgers, FaZe 1 have a ton of time left in the bank and a lot of resources to go with it.
Yeah, they certainly do. We're going to be seeing, once again, Spinbot try to take that high ground. Going a little bit cavalier. Going to be backed up by Nocturnal. They do both manage to take down Razor. That's a pretty good opening pick, along with the hack onto Vulcan. Vulcan going to be unable to use that Diva Bomb, which will be coming up here in the next couple of fights, I'm sure. Polar taking down Salt Shaker. Gets CC'd by Spinbot. Bob now going out onto the field, kind of in a position where he can't really capitalize that much, as the rest of the side of Honey Badger is going to be cleaning up the cart. It will be Vulcan just kind of continuing to push a little bit here.
Yeah, they're going to stop them here, and this is a really good corner to stop them on. We're going to be able to try and frag out from this entry doorway here. G-Man getting a ton of picks. You cannot underestimate this guy's Widowmaker. Seems to always have the best of Romanov.
You certainly cannot underestimate it, and we're going to be seeing Vulcan trying to take this guys just to contest that Pharah a little bit. The Infosight's coming out from G-Man, getting a little bit of an idea of positioning.
On the flank.
Yeah, Razor not going to be able to make that sneaky headshot kill this time around, at least not as easily. The Diva Bomb coming out, not going to be landing anything. Vulcan will safely get the remake, and the big EMP going to be landing onto 4 this time. Polar still going to get taken down. The Pharah curse has not been lifted this fight quite yet. We're going to be seeing the Primal now pop from Salt Shaker. That can potentially be a lot of ult charge surrendered over here to the defending team. Need to be very careful, as they already do have quite a few ults.
Okay.
Salt Shaker going to be throwing themselves off the map. Romanov taking down G-Man. That might be the offense here, as those defense respawns are still pretty even. But right now, it's looking like the dominance coming in. G-Man going to get rezzed up by Magnifique. And this fight has just seemed to be going on a little bit longer than preferable. We're still just seeing a little bit of poke damage. A lot of the Diva, or the Wrecking Ball mines coming out. A lot of mines activating, not many kills netting from it. Polar taking down Salt Shaker. That is a lot of space purchasing power that is going to be reduced. And now G-Man taking down Razor. It is really looking to be kind of an even keel fight here, with just the edge going in favor of FaZe 1, as they're going to have lines of sights a little bit easier.
Oh my god. You know, Honey Badgers actually had so much resources put into that fight. They got a couple of kills, but the whole thing is that FaZe 1 didn't use anything, and Razor and Nox and Cal are still able to get some frags off and still push this payload. It's really looking terrible for Honey Badgers, to be honest. They have a ton of ults to use from FaZe 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Nox anticipating that EMP coming out perfectly from Nocturnal. Not going to be netting too much because of the healing coming up. Magnifique taking down Romanov, however. I'd like to see it. Vulcan going to be avenging their fallen Widowmaker. And now the Diva Bomb's going to be coming out. Spinbot might get taken down by it. Nope, going to be taken down by Cal instead. And that's looking like it's going to be a second point rollout. However, as the kills are now going to start turning in favor of the defense. Razor taking down Nocturnal.
Touch though.
Oh no, it's going to be Polar having to touch. Not going to be quite able to stay on for long enough, as it will now be FaZe 1 capturing that second point.
Still 2.5 minutes though. That's not that much time coming from FaZe 1. All they need to do, however, though, is just win one more fight coming out of this doorway as it opens up. We'll be seeing that open up quickly, and there's literally no resources coming from Honey Badgers.
Yeah, they are going to be switching up their comp. However, we're going to be seeing the Roadhog and Bastion hop up onto the field.
I like the hopping on Bastion here. Oh no.
But Romanov taking down Spinbot is a crucial loss here. Spinbot not going to be able to do that disruption, as that Hammond is so inclined to do. Both Immortality Fields going to be down and destroyed. The hook halt combo trying to come out. Razor once again from behind, trying to get this clever dragon kills, and it will be claiming a couple. However, the kills are going in favor of FaZe 1. The mines going out onto point will not be bothering the team too much, as that Transcendence is coming out. Diva Bomb not going to be claiming much from the side of Nocturnal, gets cleaned up by Romanov, and now it's just looking pretty much all take home for the side of FaZe 1.
Yeah, solid play coming from FaZe 1. They managed to take the series in just under an hour. It is 7:59 here, and that was, yeah, Spinbot doing a lot of work with that Wrecking Ball, but unfortunately, FaZe 1 just had the number, and they used their ultimates way more efficiently, especially during that attack.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely seemed to be the case, And folks, we are going to be hopping into our outro interview here in just a moment, but we want to remind you, while we have a few more moments, you have the chance to get those last few Twitch MVP votes in. So make sure you do that before the end of the interview, and we'll let you know who we think, or who you guys think, the top playing player of the match has been. But with that being said, we're going to be joined by the one and only Salt Shaker. Salt Shaker, how you doing?
So,
Okay, so first things first. Tell me about that primal. That you guys
okay, we don't talk about that like at all. I played Winston because I thought it would be funny, and then I just gave up, went back to Orisa.
I actually died on the broadcast, and I couldn't talk for like 30 seconds.
It was pretty good. It was pretty comedic.
It got a lot of value, I'll tell you that.
It actually did. They got the cart moving, and then Razor started fragging from the space that you made.
Exactly, it's tactical.
You're just making space, even though the space is like in the lighthouse.
No, I wanna similarly ask you about a compositional choice that happened. Except this one was on Hollywood. You guys were defending, I believe, about halfway through Streets phase. It had just gone into overtime for the Honey Badgers, and if I remember correctly, you switched to Sim. What was your thinking behind that?
I do that all the time on Hollywood. It's like, I thought the cart was a little closer, so I could like just spam turrets on the wall, and then they'd all just die. But it was like in the middle of the street, and then I just died.
Yeah, we did.
Like, oh no,
It worked out.
Lost that, and I thought the point was lost, but turns out that
It's always winnable.
yeah, it was just a meme, and you guys managed to hold the last point, really hold the second point, and you did pretty well.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, absolutely loved watching it. Now, for the folks at home, you seem to be, I think a very competent Orisa would be underselling it just a little bit. Do you have any advice for anybody who's really looking to get into Orisa, considering she's looking to be a little bit more relevant in the meta in the coming times?
Click heads.
Click heads, fantastic. Now, we were talking with Mirio a little bit earlier, and they said that you and him kind of worked together to come up with the team comps. What's really the thought process when you guys are kind of working that out and mashing out those compositions?
Honestly, I don't even know. We just kind of like throw stuff together like Frankenstein.
Yeah,
And we just stitch together something that looks absolutely disgusting on paper.
It certainly seems like it, to be honest, but you guys always make it seem to work out.
Yeah,
You guys made
it's
it
pretty
work
good.
out the last Watchers Sprawl that we had, even with all of the hero bans and picks coming your way, all of the like Orisa and like Mercy bans coming your way, you guys still always manage to make it work.
Yeah, very much so. And I mean, I guess I have a simple question. Who can I thank or send my hate mail to for making Razor the constant Torbjorn pick on maps like Hollywood? Is that you or is that Mirio?
It's probably more me. I'm just like, hey Razor, go Torb, and then he just goes Torb.
Was it one of those situations where it started off more for like the meme potential, or it was like, wow, there's genuinely some value in Torb here?
Well, Torb is always an S tier pick, so we just kind of play him.
All right, well, fair enough. Now, as I go back, were there any moments where you felt that things were maybe getting a little bit out of hand for you guys, or it was looking a little bit shaky, or did you guys more so feel that you had it kind of all wrapped up the entire time?
Anytime it was shaky, I was on Winston.
Certainly, fair enough. Chase, did you have any more questions for Salt Shaker while we got him in the chat with us?
I was muted for a second. When does your what are you guys doing after this?
We have NFN.
When is that?
3 minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
It's
well,
fine.
Get you out of here.
yeah, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and say thank you for hopping into the Salt. Good luck on your next tournament, and we look forward to seeing you guys in your next few games.
Aight, no problem. See y'all later.
You have a good one, my friend. And with that being said, we are about ready to wrap it up here. But before we do, Chase, do you want to do the honors of announcing the viewers MVP for the night?
It was the wrecking ball that I underestimated at the start of the match, but gradually, kept warming up and looked really hot coming out of that last map. Unfortunately, they went down 0-3 in the series that we just saw. It was Spinbot. So congratulations to your MVP there, Spinbot. Get some credit. Definitely force to be reckoned with coming from that wrecking ball, especially on that defense. It was really sick.
Yeah, absolutely. A major congratulations all around, to phase one for, winning the game. Honey Badgers, they still put up a pretty good hold up against the side of phase one. And finally, too, the side or the player of Spinbot for getting that viewer MVP. With that being said, I think we are almost ready to wrap it up. But before we go, I personally would like to remind you folks at home that if you're liking what we're doing here at the All-Star Brawl, definitely be sure to drop us a follow, join the Discord, just chat it up in Twitch chat. We like hearing you. We like interacting with the community. Any form of support is appreciated. Wanted to extend that invitation to you guys formally from one caster to an audience. With that being said, want to thank you guys very much for joining us here tonight. We will be back on in about an hour, following up with TE Lullaby versus Winnable. Be sure to catch us then. But for your casting entertainment, I have been Sir Waltham, and on the other side of the table has been Chase.
Sci-fi. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you in an hour. Smile.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.